3:05, so I think we might start. Good afternoon, everyone. I do hope that you have some time and you will find 45 minutes, the upcoming 45 minutes of your time interesting enough that it would make sense, in your opinion, to join us. Thank you for joining. Short introduction from ourselves. So on the right hand of the screen, you see Abirbhav, who is the country manager of Hybrid in Indonesia. And he has lots of experience in terms of digital marketing. And my name is Paweł. I'm a bit older than Abir, so I have 16 years of experience in marketing whatsoever. And we're more than happy to talk to you today about Branformance as such, and how, in our opinion, you should include it into your marketing strategies, and how actually mobile performance or mobile part of the digital industry can help you or should be included in your overall media mixes and the strategies that you're building for your customers. Just a short introduction, why actually we feel entitled to talk to you about Branformance and mobile performance as such. I represent Hybe, a company that is a part of Hybrid Media Group, and we are 100% dedicated to mobile advertising. What we do for the last 10 years, we advertise app-to-app marketing. We use it for companies' KPIs in terms of in-app advertising. So we run only exclusively app-to-app marketing. We're globally present on 3 continents, so we have lots of experience from multiple countries, multiple categories. And that is why we feel definitely entitled to talk to you about our solution and actually the strategy that might help you to bring your media strategies in 2022 to a, let's say, new level, but I think that might be a bit an overstatement. By the way, there are people from our company in the chat, so if you have any questions, feel free to write them over there. We'll be more than happy to answer them during the presentation or after it. So welcome again, and let's begin. What do? We are a DSP platform. We're focused on app-to-app. We work in programmatic exclusively, and we work with both agencies and direct customers. So whenever which part of the industry, an agency or direct customer you're representing, I hope that you will find it interesting, and I hope we'll be able to answer your questions. And of course, our main goal of the company and the whole the group of the companies is to constantly bring innovation, and hence today's webinar, and I hope you will find it interesting. So without further ado, what do we see as... Okay, I'm old. I remember times when there was no internet. So the media mix today is a very complex thing. You're looking at traditional medias like TV, out-of-home, radio, or press that is slowly dying off, but is still here. You're looking at like an ambient advertising, ambient marketing, all of the non-standard advertisings, and of course, the biggest parts of the budget is still for a couple of years now is going to the digital. But when I started, like many years ago, digital was one thing, one channel as called as digital. Today, it's a lot more. It's of course web-based, like website-based marketing in all of the CPMs, advertising networks, and of course programmatic part. There's social media in terms of like running your campaigns in social media, and influencer marketing, which is a subsection, so to say, with if the influencer and social media advertising, and of course there's mobile. Let's say our home turf, which is divided to branding and performance part. And bearing in mind, you can see the lines here. Abir is more responsible for the part of the overall digital part and web especially. I'm the guy for more for the mobile part and the performance side of the business. But of course, today it's going to be also about branding and Branformance and combining the two. So why do we think it is important to actually talk about using app advertising in Branformance strategies? It is crucial to understand that actually people are spending more and more time in apps on their phones every year. And you can see that actually Indonesia is one of is the vice king of the industry. 5.5 hours a day people are spending on average in apps. So not just on mobile phone as such, but in app, actually it's the same thing. If you dig deeper, you will see that on average, out of those 5.5 hours, people are spending around 2 hours in non-social media apps. So obviously, Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, etc., are the absolute kings in terms of time spent on in app. And obviously, if you're a marketer in 2022, you're running campaigns in those platforms and you're using those platforms to reach your customers with your brand message. You must remember that those websites are the self-attributed ones. So actually, they say how good their traffic is performing on your website. It is possible to measure those campaigns, but not as easy as it's in the programmatic world. So first part of today's meeting would be me convincing you that mobile is getting more and more important than pure web. And I think that what you can see on the screen is kind of obvious and explanatory that yes, you should be working in mobile apps advertising already today. If you don't, you're losing, you're falling behind. Secondly, so I'm trying to convince you that in-app advertising is the new king. First of all, in-app out of social media is the best possible alternative to social media budgets, with all of the regulations, with all of the possibilities, with all of the politics behind running advertising on social media in-app. You're having an alternative. You can reach the same users with a competitive pricing model outside of the social media, still on their phone, still with lots of their time spent being there, so you can grab their attention of that. And at the end of the day, if you look at the general statistics, more people are using their phones to play games and actually use apps than use social media platforms alone. So the reach actually is bigger outside of the social media, and you get additional benefits. You can reach your users in a completely new way outside of social media. You can reach your users in the 2 hours of their time that they are spending out of your reach currently, because not many brands and not many companies are running in-app advertising. And of course, you get very exact targetings in terms of application placement, in terms of user data, etc. So this part being not that much connected to brandformance as such, I think it's important to say how it works. So the benefits: you have full service. You have companies like ours, but there's many others on the market as well. You have full data, and you have the possibility to move your budgets, to allocate your budgets away from the social media platforms, or at least try to optimize your media spend when you're spending a lot of money on social media or other platforms. You can optimize your budgets and move from one channel to the other. Consider also app to app or app performance marketing as one of the channels. That being said, let's move on to the topic of today's meeting, the brandformance part of things. I think the name says it all. Brandformance is the combination of branding and performance campaigns. And once you look at it, it looks very complicated. There's companies and there's groups inside the agencies, like sections of the agencies dedicated 100% to performance campaigns. Of course, that originated in the web, in the e-commerce industry, and all of the KPIs and conversion rates were very strictly measured over there. But it grew separately from the branding part, the one that you're running on TV, radio, out of home, etc. When the most important part is actually to get your message to the right people. And if you look at it, there are two very actually similar but hardcore approaches, that the only difference is the strategy of reaching the user. Branding is using your message to establish a connection with your user, with your client, to attract them and to retain them, but without any key performance metrics. So you're using general messages to spread out the world, and you're focusing on reach, on GDG, on reach, on cappings, etc. And in terms of the performance, you're looking at actually getting $1 in and how many dollars you're getting out. So you're focusing on return on ad spend, you're focusing on getting leads, you're focusing on getting sales. So it looks like one is building trust in a relationship, the other one is just building sales. So how about merge the two and enter Branformance? Because of course, every single company has a different, unique way of defining its success. Every single company has a different KPI sets, but I don't think that anybody today can expect a user to buy a product after one simple contact with one simple billboard. Would it be online, web, or offline? So if you look at the evolution of like automation, if you look at the evolution of the ways that we can reach out to users and monitor and traffic what they're doing, and of course, putting artificial intelligence into helping marketeers to work, we can and actually should be implementing big campaigns focused on brand experience and focused on direct messaging, using all of the technologies that we have from performance-based campaigns. Some of the agencies, some of the companies are already doing it, but still there's lots of work. And we're here to convince you that actually it makes sense and actually it can be done. And mobile should be the leading momentum, the leading engine of the general transition. If the former slides were too long, this is the too long didn't read. So Branformance is a strategy where we're scaling. We're optimizing the methodology of reach, of bringing the message to proper people, using all of the metrics, all of the channels that we're having from the performance world. And it's my personal nomination, the buzzword of 2022, because somebody was talking about Branformance in the last 2 years, but this year I think it's the year when actually agencies and clients are thinking about how to use all of this sophisticated metrics, sophisticated targetings to reach the proper people. We're still focusing on branding. So the focus is from this side, but the technology is from this side. And of course, you must bear in mind that why actually the buzzword originated. So I don't know how about you, but we've seen a 50% to 60% growth in media costs since the beginning of 2020, so to say. So it's harder and more expensive to reach the attention of users. They have more channels, they have more distractions, they're doing multiple things, most of them, of course, on their phones. And in 2022, you just have to look for new ways and new optimal ways to reduce cost and raise brand awareness and raise the quality of the traffic, the quality of reach to your customers. And here comes the most important part of the Branformance topic. We're talking about brand awareness and we're talking about trust, and it takes time. It's obvious that brand awareness and trust takes time. You have to be consistent. You have to repeat your message to the customer. And if you bear in mind the raising cost of CPMs all over the media, if you take in mind that there are also lots of measurement tools, and if you take into consideration that there are 2 hours of the time spent daily of your people that are in apps, and most probably you do not have in-app advertising in your media mix, you're just losing 2 hours of the possibility of reaching out to your customers. So talking about relationship marketing, it's not about reaching as many customers as possible. It's about trying to pinpoint the ones that are most likely to react to your message, that you're using the same targetings that you use in performance to narrow down the general reach to proper people. If you're looking at the general reach campaigns, you have multiple tools to do that. You are doing it in Facebook with targeting, you're doing it with Google, you're doing it with multiple suppliers, but you're not an overstatement. Not many people are actually using performance-based tools in order to run such campaigns. So my understanding would be, or my idea would be, that if you build strong relation with your customer and you want to optimize your budget, you can use performance-based tools, still running a branding campaign. And if you add on top of that a pure performance-based campaign, this might be or should be good enough that customer would not come to other brand, to your competitors, but they would rather choose your solution, your offer. So brand and performance together, Branformance. I would say that this is a key strategy for 2022, especially if you're a digital first brand or digital focused brand, because if you look at the multi-channel approach, what you can do with two metrics, you can see the brand part, like the quality control, the optimization, the monitoring and optimization of the campaigns, the quality of creatives, the quality of brand message or market fit of your brand message. You can monitor and optimize it with performance-based tools, the ones on the right-hand side of your screens. So campaign data, and of course, ad reactions, dwell time, dwell rate, everything that happens post-click, everything that happens post-view in terms of conversions to the website. And up until today, up until last year, so to say, it was measured side by side. You were measuring brand and reach effects, and you were measuring the performance effects separately. And actually, it's not that hard. It's ad impression, post-click, post-view, cross-device data, anything that happens on your website or in-app happens, and then you go into conversions. So this, in short, is a customer journey that you are measuring at this very moment. Impression, post-impression, clicks and actions, website, and conversions. But what if we add additional monitoring methods? What if we add not just one by one channel optimization and looking at it, but if you would add one more performance-based campaign and look at the results of every single campaign that you're having. So if you look at one of the studies concerning, concerning additional performance campaigns, especially in mobile performance, you would look at the customer who's running multiple campaigns, as everybody is doing in media mix: paid search, organic search, email, direct, Facebook referrals. These are the average conversion rates on the website for a non-e-commerce client. They look, I would say, pretty low, but there's always place for optimization. What if we add additional new channel, those 2 hours of user time spent, with a Branformance specifically targeted campaign, meaning using key metric, using performance metrics, using all of the data that we have from the website, using the best possible targeting and optimization towards conversions on a different channel, and monitor what was the change and the uplift of conversion from the other channels that was additionally brought by this new campaign on mobile. If you look at the growth of conversion rate per those channels, so how this newly breed of campaign affected actually the current state of campaigns, the current state of conversion rates from campaigns, you can see that actually all of the channels, apart from referral, got an uplift in terms of conversion rates, in terms of traffic coming to your website and performing better, simply because we added one additional touch point to the customer. So we used performance metrics to raise trust and brand awareness to you, which actually not just affected the campaign in question, the mobile programmatic campaign, but also affected every single other campaigns. If you look even deeper at more channels, you would see that every single channel had a growth. Either it did not change anything, because -3% on paid search, I think it's a very small change, But if you look at social media, if somebody is spending 5.5 hours on their phones, 3 hours goes to social media, 2.5 hours goes to other apps, and you're looking at 100%, 160% growth in terms of conversion rates from social media campaigns. If you measure it correctly, if you're measuring using a pixel impression tracker and combine all of the results when adding a new channel and looking what this channel is doing to all of the other channels that you're running, all of the other media campaigns that you're running, you can see a growth like this. Email advertising 33% up. Of course, most of the people are using mobile email on their mobiles now, so it's very similar. The same media vehicle that you're actually using. So in total, the newly added campaign solely on the performance metrics, but with branding target, brought conversions 11% up. In my opinion, it's quite a good result. So how to do it? If you look at creatives, that are available in the mobile programmatic ecosystem, you have all of them, actually, from the same that we're using in pure performance-based campaigns. You have banners, you have native ads, you have interstitial with video, you have rewarded videos, which are probably less relevant for traditional brands that are more relevant for mobile-first brands like games, apps, etc. And you have playable ads. And if you hear about playable ads, probably most of you are thinking, okay, but playable ads are just for games. Of course not. If you're an automotive producer, say BMW, you can have a short game that where you can simply drive a car in game for 30 seconds. Does it bring additional sales to BMW dealers? I don't think so. Does it lift the brand recognition, brand awareness, and kind of positive approach towards a brand? Yes, I think it does, because we're talking to a proper person that's playing a game or doing something else, and we're showing them a message that is relevant to the place where they are. Again, it's not performance-based campaign, but it uses all of the performance features to raise branding. So in this case, if you're thinking about combining performance and brand, I think this is the way to do it. Of course, there's multiple approach. You can use branding creative, but with converting mechanisms. You can and should do A/B testing, A, B, C, D, E, F, G testing, especially for branding campaigns, but this is nothing obvious. This is something obvious for anybody that's in the industry. Of course, you can and you should, especially with full screen advertising on mobiles, look at the heat maps of the interaction with your ads, look at the analysis of the dwell time and dwell rate with your advertising. So use all of the, again, performance metrics, not just reach and impression-based metrics for branding. So in short, if you look at Branformance strategy, at adding a new performance channel to all of the branding that you're running at this very moment, you get additional 2 hours a day of contact to your people. You can raise performance in other channels. You can optimize cross-media ad spend, meaning you can indicate the less performing and more expensive media channels, and you can relocate budgets from other media to let's say the media that are performing better. And of course, the elephant in the room is social media, and so self-attributed media, so Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, etc. The ones that are telling you how good their campaign is running. So if I would be measuring my own campaign, there will always be like perfect campaigns. And you can also make a decision or look at the possibility of moving campaigns to somewhere else. And if you look at the scope of possibilities, if you look at what people are doing in mobile ads, of course, it's social media. It's going to be always social media as number one. But number two is games. Number three is VOD. There's dating. There's navigation. There's shopping. There's news. There's foods. There's billions of categories of apps, and people are there, and many of those apps are being monetized through advertising, and we can reach them over there. So in my opinion, if you're looking at Branformance strategy, if you're looking at how to reach the people with your message in the best optimal way, the cheapest and the best performing, you just have to look at mobile performance, mobile open RTB ecosystem, programmatic ecosystem, simply because the possibilities are immense. And if you play games, if you use any apps on mobiles, you probably know that that part of the industry is still dominated by mobile first players. So there's in-app advertising of other apps, of games, of some currency exchange companies that we work with, some social casinos, some games, etc. Not that many brand messages still being delivered through in-app advertising. And actually, like the studies show, it's a mistake. We should be looking at broadening what we do also to the part of the mobile programmatic using performance metrics, not pure reach, because then it can be a waste of your money. This is a pure slide that should not be here. It shows where we are. I'm sorry for that. As for the launching on Branformance campaign, it's pretty straightforward and pretty simple. You have to have KPIs of your campaign, and they have to be in two ways. They have to be landing page based, application based, and of course you have to have sales funnel in your app, on your website, looking at all of the channels that you're having a third-party tracker in order to monitor all of the campaigns and to gather the data all together. Of course, there's cross-device, so we need to have a place to connect user data from IDFA or from mobile apps to a cookie. So website or an app is a great place to do it. But still, we need KPIs of the campaign, we need the goals of the campaign. And then you can actually look at the missing 2 hours or missing reach, and you can add the mechanics of that. Of course, you can use two different metrics. You can run retargeting campaigns for your users. You can run user acquisition campaigns for your new users, and all of that is depending on your media mix today. But the technology and the possibilities are all already there, because mobile programmatic took everything from web programmatic and actually added additional features in terms of additional reach and additional performance-based metrics. Okay, I'm talking for 30 minutes constantly now. So I would ask Abirbhav to take the floor and briefly gouge you through what we did for one of our customers in terms of pure Branformance campaigns. It's a fresh one. I'm sorry it's not from Indonesia, but we're still rolling out this product in Indonesia, so we do not yet have a proper case from Indonesia. But since Indonesia and India have the same capital, like first letter of the country, we've decided, okay, India, Indonesia, same first letter, so should be relevant. Abir, to you.
Sure. Pavel, firstly, thank you very much for actually giving us this insight into brandformance, basically brand and performance. It's been over 6-7 months that we have been talking in the market only about branding. So all our products, right from Vox, TV Sync to Semantica, Hybrid Places, and Triggers. So it was more about just branding. But I think this part, which is like the performance part and integrating it together with branding, actually opens up a new horizon for my team, for us to actually reach out to more number of customers in the market. So the agencies and the brands we are working with right now, I think this is a right fit where people, as you have said, that slowly everyone is moving towards performance. And I personally feel that if we can actually match performance with branding, why not? So that actually gives a leverage to everyone in the market, right from the marketers to brand custodians, to actually go ahead and try this out and understand how they can actually go ahead and get the performance matrix along with the branding. So I think this is a perfect fit. So thank you for this introduction. And yes, for everyone who is on this webinar, yeah, we are launching this end of this month actually in Indonesia, and we are ready to roll out some pilot campaigns with some of the customers out here in Indonesia. So okay, let's just speak about this case and let's just make sense out of it, like how people can actually use us. Okay, so we have been talking about this with a lot of brands who have their apps. So majorly we are looking forward to people or brands who are having their apps where they can actually go ahead and utilize us to actually get the performance part integrated with the branding aspect. So this is a small case study from India. We ran it for a period of around 31 days. In-app channel, both video and banner formats were utilized for this thing. This is basically a pizza place. I can't name it. Okay, NDAs are not yet signed, so it's it's actually not very good to actually name them. So yeah, so it's a pizza delivery app basically. So half of you might have already understood what this is. So I'll just tell you what the strategy was and what the main idea of this particular Branformance campaign was. So basically, they wanted to actually increase the number of orders as well as look forward to the right people to get the downloads happen. And it was not a direct KPI goal for us to actually go out and reach out for the orders, but it was more importantly that we were reaching out to the right people who were actually downloading this app. And all the buying and everything was actually happening, driven by our machine learning optimization platform, Hybe. And we were showing video ads with a particular focus on promotion, that in-app promotions basically, which actually talked about some kind of offer, special offer if you're actually ordering it through the app or you're actually going to the restaurant and then placing an order over there. So the main idea was that we wanted to actually capitalize the machine learning optimization using the CPM buy, but actually deliver the KPI matrix of the performance for this brand. Paweł, can we just move to the next slide? Okay. Coming to the execution and how we have actually resulted in this particular campaign. So in Indonesia, we are already working with a lot of clients where we are actually utilizing the online to offline reporting. So we have run a lot of campaigns with the cigarette category as well as the FMCG category, where they actually wanted to see when you're advertising on online basis, how many people are actually coming to the stores on offline. So we actually attributed this particular technology, the branding technology, with our performance part, and we gave a holistic picture that how many people have we reached out online and how many were there people coming and visiting the stores offline. And a big question, like people ask us, how do you do it? So the main idea out here is that because we're using the in-app inventory with the ad request, we are getting the geolocations of the users. And once this user with the same device ID basically is coming to that offline store and he's again opening up his mobile phone and there's an ad request generated at that point of time. So we understand this is the same user who is actually coming inside that particular lat and long. So but it's all derived from the latitude and longitude matrix over here. So if you can see over here, the online to offline visitors were like really good. So almost around 2% of the users who have not even downloaded the app but still visited the place of interest. So that what actually is a KPI where a lot of brands actually are looking forward to footfalls also happening. So basically, it's not only about food; it can be about any of the brands which are looking for increasing the footfalls in their maybe offline store, or maybe there is a kind of activation and offline activation going on. So we have utilized that for a few of the brands in Indonesia for the online to offline conversion. But yes, this is something which we are going ahead and offering as a part of Hybe 2, where people can actually see, okay, you're running a brand performance campaign, but with that, you actually want to see that what kind of unique offline visitors are coming in to your store. So all these reportings are not something which is like hypothetical. I would say these are all real-time reports. So you'll be getting a dashboard where you can actually see on an hourly basis that how many impressions are being served, what kind of interactions are happening with your ads, and what kind of people are actually coming down to your store. And this actually is like quite exciting. When I spoke about this with few of the brands out here in Indonesia, they're like spooked. Like, how do you do it? Like normally they just get this data after the campaign. Okay. So the campaign runs for 30 days, 60 days, and after that you're getting this data. So they're like, how do you manage to do this? So we then explain the complete procedure, that how we are actually setting up the campaigns, what our technology is, and that's how we are actually able to offer a brandformance part to our clients and our brands basically. And that's how we are making a difference out here in this market. So we have been doing this in the other markets, in Poland, in Eastern Europe, as well as in India, but now it's time for Southeast Asia, and we want to start this in a big way in Indonesia. So that's what.
And
Yeah.
I just wanted to add one thing, that actually, if you look at it, the best performing users in this part, online to offline report, were actually the Apple devices, because above 2% of people from Apple devices actually post-view seen the ad and ended up inside the restaurant, which actually, bearing in mind the ATT and the changes in the privacy settings for Apple devices, is great, simply because we have limited data. Everybody has limited data to Apple devices this year because of the policy change. So this is also one of the ways to work around the changes and the limitations that we're having. Of course, we're overcoming them, but still, it looks like actually they were pretty well targeted at looking at the online to offline report. Just wanted to add that. Sorry.
Yeah, another answer to the cookieless world, right? With the cookies, you can track it, but now without the cookies, what next? I think this is one direct influence where you are actually able to increase the footfalls in the store. So yeah, brand performance actually is working wonders for a lot of clients. Okay, coming to the campaign results, you can see that out of every 10 users, 4 of them have placed an order. So that's again a really good conversion rate. That's nearly around 40% of the users who have installed the app have placed an order within 30 days. So that's like excellent. And you don't know how many orders are they going to be placing in the future. So that what brand performance actually helps get delivered for the brands. So it's not only about the performance, not only for one CPO you're paying $5 or $6 or maybe more than that. It's more about reaching out to that audience who is loyal to you, so you can have a high retention rate where you can actually go ahead and have more reorders coming in. And this is just for an example point of view, just from an QSR who wants to have specifically geo targeted campaigns, and you have multiple opportunities, multiple options to actually go ahead and run different kind of algorithms which we already have in place to optimize your campaigns.
And you can see two legs of the same campaign. You can see the branding part, the brand trust and offline part, and of course the performance part, which is simply here: CTRs, order plays, VTRs, etc. And this means that this shows how actually combining the two makes sense.
And Pavel, after like we were speaking about these particular cases with a lot of clients out here in Indonesia, they're like pretty kicked up with the CTRs and VTRs, and they were not believing it. So we said that we are actually open to put any kind of third party tracker. So that's again a very open and transparent way of actually inviting clients to actually work with us. So we are able to put third party trackers. You can use IAS, you can use Nelson Dart trackers to actually check the VTRs, CTRs, impressions, everything. So we're pretty transparent in terms of the branding, as well as for all your performance goals. So you can have your app flyer integrations and everything. Basically, we are open to actually do any kind of a stuff with that.
Exactly. Thank you very much. So we're closely running out of time. So I will just briefly go you through the summary of what actually Branformance as a new approach can bring. It actually, the general idea is both on the once on the performance sides, it increases the CTR. It of course lowers the cost of your or bringing in loyal customers to your website, to your app. It shows you or brings you to like a holistic approach to your omni-channel campaigns. It's the general idea of marketing, looking at not one channel by channel, but multiple channels and how they interact with each other, how to indicate the least performing ones and how to switch them off. And I was discussing it when I was with one of the media measuring companies like 10 years ago. We were discussing actually how to look for the least performing channels within website advertising. So which website is performing way better or worse? Is the CTR the only metric that we're looking at? Now we're looking at 20 channels on digital marketing, and you have to combine them, you have to compare them and switch off the least performing ones, the ones that are like cheating on you, bringing you shitty traffic, bringing you non-human traffic, invalid traffic, etc. If you look at this in a brandformance way, you can see that there are multiple reach campaigns with billions of users that being touched by the advertising. But if you adopt performance measurement tools to it, you will see that actually, and so nothing happened. Like I've reached 10 million people in Poland, so, and nobody gives a damn about my message, which probably means that the performance of my branding campaigns is actually pretty bad. So additionally, you can gain like really short-term sales from the mix of the two. You can bring long-term loyalty of your users if you use it properly, reduce the cost, of course, and it's again a holistic business approach to making money out of media advertising. So if we got you convinced, it's not that we're making this webinar just to sell our solutions, but also to like promote the general idea. If it's something interesting of you, just please look at all of your branding channels that you're using. Look at the performance of one by one. Adopt any third-party tracking. Like it can be like I'm a big fan of Amazon Sysmex, but you can use any other tracking company. You can analyze all of your media with Sysmex. You can analyze on-site conversions like with Google, with other MMPs, with apps flyers, and decide hopefully to add to your media mix the performance brand campaigns. Measure the uplift that those campaigns will bring to your current campaigns on your current media. Try having fun with allocating budgets between the media, the ones that are working, the ones that are not working, and of course the most important one: test and optimize, and then again test and optimize, and then again test and optimize, and then again and then again. So this is it from us. I do really hope that it was enjoyable, and we managed to convince you to at least look into the Branformance strategy and adding new channels to your current branding and performance campaigns, and actually mixing the two. Of course, if you would like to know more, our team in Indonesia and me would be more than happy to discuss any options and to talk to you about what we can do, how we can do, and does it actually make sense, because it does make sense. And of course, if you have any additional questions, I think we have a couple of minutes left to answer them. You can write them in the comments below. There's a poll from our team also on the right-hand side. So yeah, if you have questions, please fire away. And if not, I'll have my coffee.
So Pavel, another thing that I was thinking, like for the next webinar, let's just start putting up some cases where we can actually start discussing. Like hopefully we'll have a couple of cases from Indonesia where we can actually say that for brand performance, what are the ideations, or what are the basic way to actually go about it, right? So I think I am
Yeah,
having some ideas. Yeah, I am having some ideas that when we are having a series of webinar, what to be next. So I think that is going to give more ideas to the people who are joining in, or who will be joining in the future, that see, this is what brand performance is. It's a very new topic. It's a fabulous topic according to me. But yeah.
and at the end of the day, if uh, if any of the advertising agencies around Indonesia are listening, this is also something great that you can pitch to your clients in terms of, we have something new, we are innovating, we're bringing you new solutions, we can optimize your budgets, we can raise the performance of your branding campaigns, because this is actually what it is. And and making branding campaigns also perform in terms of KPIs and conversion rates and return on ad spend in a completely new way. So,
Abir, sorry, we have a question. How to start campaign with Hybe? Can answer somebody?
yes, of course. You need to write to Abir. I think he can share his email here in the chat if you don't mind, or you can write to me and I forward your email to a proper person. And I'm not seeing a chat actually. I've written something in the chat I haven't seen. Okay, yeah, perfect. And we will be more than happy to discuss options and your KPIs for your campaign. So yeah, actually, you should be answering that, not me. Come on.
No worries, no worries. I think we'll have the team actually reach out to the person, so that's completely okay. So you can start working with us like ASAP. We just need the creatives. We just need the landing page URL, and the only condition apply is that you need to have an app to actually do this.
Yeah,
That's
you need to have an app to
that's
run
the
mobile
only
programmatic.
that's the only asterisk that we have over here for the brand performance part. Yeah.
Cool, guys. And we have one more question. What type of product is best to promote with Hybe?
Okay.
I
So
suppose some brands, maybe you can give some examples. Or
No, I wouldn't say there's best or worse. I would say that every single product is applicable, but the one limitation was just mentioned before the question was asked. If you want to work with Hybe, you need to have an app. It doesn't have to be like the main focus of the campaign. It doesn't have to be the main goal of the campaign, but an app allows us to do cross-media data merger. So we need that as one of the touch points in the campaign. So I would say the best, if you're mobile first, if your business is 100% like focused on mobile, should that be AliExpress or any food delivery app or Gojek or something like this, this would be probably like the best possible the app, the best possible customer. But we're not saying no to anyone. There's, everybody's using mobile today. Everybody. There's more people on the planet that are using a mobile phone that have a toothbrush, which means everybody has a phone. And if you're a brand, you want to reach as many proper people as possible. So if there is like billions of people with mobile phones, you should be also targeting them properly, not all of them, but the pinpointed ones. So yeah, I can't answer the question who's the best because everybody's good.
cool. Thank you for the answer. And we have one more question.
Yeah.
How does it works for digital agency industry? Could we use these Branformance tools such as Hybe for gaining new potential clients or making such a more comprehensive report for the client to find their insights about the product or their services? Thanks. Thank you for the question. So
I don't understand the question. Could we use this Branformance tools such as Hybe for gain new potential clients? Yes, if you're an advertising agency and you want to reach out to more clients of yours and you're running branding campaigns for them, definitely should be working with us on two ways. A, optimizing the campaigns that you're running now or showing the client the ways to optimize. B, running additional performance-based campaigns with us that will influence the other ones. And at the end of the day, of course, if you have like a client, as we've shown, as Abir was talking about, the pizza chain that has an app and has like physical location stores, and most of the companies like this have an app already, you can showcase them the additional report and the additional data post-campaign, so the additional effect. Because if we would not present this pizza chain, the report online to offline, they would still be happy with our campaign. Because 40% of people made a purchase or an order in app. And the cost per install and the cost per order were in line with the customer KPIs. But additional data on online to offline showed them what was the value, the additional value that happened thanks to this campaign. And this was pure branding. That, you know, the general idea of you having a banner on the bus or an advertising in your newspaper is for me to go to a restaurant of the client, sit and eat. And this is, and you can't measure it. You do not know if I've seen the banner or I've ridden the bus or whatever. With online, you can have performance based. I've seen the ad. I did not install the app. I went to the store and I've set an order. And you have hard data that I was actually exposed to your advertising. So there's 3 ways: optimizing branding, adding additional Branformance channel, and adding additional data to post-campaign reports, because this is the result they would see probably in sales growth in the restaurants, but they would not know the origin of the sales growth. Once we deliver a report like this, they can purely see, your clients can purely see that, yeah, this is insightful. This campaign actually benefits me directly as this campaign and brings me additional indirect value to all of my other media mix campaigns. I talked too long. Abir, please next time just stop me because I was like, there was a short question and my answer took like 10 minutes. So sorry for that.
No, it's perfectly okay. Perfectly okay. If you have any more questions, we'll be happy to answer them. Or otherwise, you can just directly reach out to us and the team of Hybrid Indonesia, or you can just ping us over here. And after this webinar, you'll be getting an email from us, so you can actually reply on that email, and then we can actually start a conversation over there. That's perfect for us to actually take it ahead. I think this was a lovely webinar to actually start the brand performance part in Indonesia with Hybe. And we are looking forward to actually having some successful campaigns, successful cases, actually, to be very honest, where we can actually talk about that in the future segments of similar webinars for Hybe. Thank you, Paweł. Thank you for actually having this for the Indonesia market, and we would look forward to actually replicate this in the other SCA markets also very soon.
Thank you, everybody. Have a great afternoon, and looking forward to hearing from you.
Sure.
Have a great
day. Take care.
Bye-bye.
Thank you, guys. Thank you, everyone. Thank you for joining.
Goodbye.